everybody, I'm Tony Pellegrino with GenRight Off-Road, and this is part of a live tech talk that we do every Tuesday and Thursday, today being August 10th. And thank you for joining us. I'm going to give everybody a minute here to get on, and we've got a great show. Of course, we're talking about everything Jeep related. Today, we've actually got a shop tour in mind. We're going to get through some of the entry stuff, and then we're going to take a tour and look at the Jeeps and race cars and stuff that we're building over in the shop. And I know everybody always likes that, so stay tuned and you're gonna get to see lots of really cool stuff. All right, as always, we welcome your questions and comments. Make sure you include some information on your Jeep. Now this particular show is being recorded, so after I return, I will come back and answer all your questions and comments. So feel free to post them in there. We're not doing this live, but I'll still come back if you see something on the show that you have questions about, and we'll come back and answer it. Today's featured product is a product from Warn that you may or may not know about. So your winch came with one of these handles, you know, to reel it in and out. Well, nowadays, they offer a brand new Bluetooth connected hub. Now this works through your phone, so you're not having to worry about something else you got to charge. This plugs in just like this did, but it's permanently attached up at the front. And it's really cool. It's quite small. So here you can see that same kind of a plug, just like we had on this one. And then you tuck this somewhere up underneath the hood, and this little guy will talk to your phone. It gives you a unique transaction or communication with this device, between this and your phone, through Bluetooth. Really nice, works good, allows you to free spool, winch out, winch in, quite a bit of nice communication for this. And for those of you that really love using your phone for everything, it's another cool upgrade you can do. They're not that expensive. You would buy this straight from Warn or one of its resellers, but I wanted to tell you about it. It's called the Hub, and Warn, you download the app for free. It's one of those kind of things, but these are available for all their different winches, and if you're looking for something cool, it's a nice little gadget and works well, so check it out, okay? That's our featured product for today. All right. It's time for us to head over to the shop and check out what Jordan and the rest of the guys have going on over there. So let's transition from here and head on over. All right, we're over in the shop. This is going to be a little bit more noisy. Bear with us. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. This is a customer vehicle that we just finished. It's obviously one of our rolling chassis. And I'm going to uncover this so you can check it out, because this is one of those super cool options that you guys have that you may or may not know about. And what we're doing is we're just putting everything for this inside here. This particular one is one of our brand new tracer kits. And you can see there's the upgraded Howe steering. That is the top of the line. This has got our big 26-gallon gas tank. This has got everything you could want on here. The IBP shocks, clickers, the aluminum 7075 aluminum control arms. Right? This is all the good stuff. This whole thing was built, disassembled, sent back out for powder coating. Here's that big 26-gallon GenRight gas tank with the skid plate built into it. Really, really nice. The new Mickey Thompson Baja Bosses. This customer opted for some trail-ready wheels. This has all of our really nice stainless steel hard lines and everything all done. So basically this vehicle is plumbed and ready to go for the customer to drop their body on here. And you can see it even right here. All the fittings are ready to just be connected to the master cylinder, and the brakes out on the axles are completely done. So bleed the system and ready to go. Looks like this customer opted for the LS motor mounts. because if it was stock, it would still have the goofy stock looking ones. These are the nice upgraded ones. This has got our engine and belly pan skid on here, flat skid. Again, all the brake lines, the steering, everything is done. Bumps are in here, shocks are on. He's upgraded the brakes. These are the big Alcon brakes. And of course, this is a Curry 60 in the front and full float 40 spline 70 in the rear. So you're talking about, this is some of our best stuff. The same stuff that the Silver Surfer has, that Peter's red Tracer LJ has, Maximus. So yeah, a lot of good stuff here. So that's one of the things they're working on here in the shop. This is another frame. This is for a Jeep that actually I'm building just to sell. So I bought a JK. We're stripping the frame down. We're going to add the complete Elite system. You can see some of the parts are already laid out. Then this will get sandblasted and sent out for powder coat as well. So this will get the LS motor mounts, everything. And that's one that they're working on today. Over here, we've got Aaron's Jeep that we had showed you a few days ago. This is the one on standard coil springs and shocks, but really has the rest of the Elite suspension. Whoa. So, you've got a lot of good stuff going on here. We've had a couple of shows. We've talked about this. And that's a popular setup. It's in the lift still slightly right now. It doesn't normally sit that high because it's still got the lift underneath it. But it looks like they're still putting the coil springs back in. I see this one's missing here. So they're still working on it. But yeah, really cool. Good way to do it. Allows you to step into that without breaking the bank right out of the gate. So Jamie's over here working on the growler. He's doing some normal maintenance, and it's good to know that all of us work on our own vehicles. So when you call in, we probably even know the right size wrench you need to use. So
I know by now.
He does know by now, that's for sure. He's only had this thing together and apart at least 20 times. So, but yeah, so that's what Jamie's up to. Looks like we're building a roll cage over here. So this is one of our fixture tables that we've got, and we can pop all the tubes into this to the factory spec and build a roll cage. So this one will build TJ, YJ, CJ, and LJ roll cages. So pretty cool. Looks like the guys are coming along on that. Let's come across here. We've got all kinds of stuff around. Here's a whole dash out of a TJ. This is the cool stuff over here. So we've got my old race car out here. It's getting some updates and being worked on. But Jordan's car is the one that everybody always wants to see. So he's doing a whole bunch of upgrades on it. And they're building parts over here like crazy, and maybe we can even bother Jordan for a minute and he'll give us a little rundown. But I can tell you, they cut off the whole front and cut off the top, and then they've updated all this stuff. What they're trying to do is make it easier to work on and keep it more current with the rules. So the rules state that he needed a little bit thicker, beefier cage on the top. So they're upgrading everything, and really it's going to be quite nice. Over on this side, they've got, looks like they're working on the new bulkhead.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Upper bulkhead?
Upper bulkhead, yeah. So, and then they've already welded a bunch of uprights and the arms and lots of stuff. These guys are going to town over here. Yeah. Working non-stop on all these cool parts. So each one of these parts, although it looks all trick, it's got to have a fixture to hold all the pieces while they're welding it. And then each of these parts we'll go out to heat treat and get normalized and then heat treated up to a certain spec to make it stronger and tougher. So when you weld it, it puts a lot of heat into areas you don't necessarily want that focused, so you want to normalize it and even it all out and then bring it back up to the right heat treat. So all of these are chromoly parts, and believe it or not, these guys have been working on this for weeks, so if not months. Yeah. So anything you want to add? No, that's pretty good.
No?
Yeah. You're looking forward to having it done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of work. So they're working on a little table that we have in CAD so that they can design all the fixtures and everything around that and then just bolt it down and weld it up on that. That's real beefy, so it's strong and won't move around on them. So anything in particular you want to show people on the arms or anything, Jordan?
That's Sam's department.
Sam's department? What do we have? We have this big one down here. That might be a good one to talk about.
It's the upper control arms are where we're trying some new things. They're kind of weird looking upper control arms. It's these two right here. They have a fully linear front bearing. It's all solid mounted, so no rod ends, no jam nuts,
No adjustment.
anything like that.
Yeah.
No adjustment. And normally there's a bend right here, so you can keep both of the uniballs in line, but we've had issues braking on corners and things like that in the past, so keeping everything in line takes a lot of unnecessary loading out of the part and keeps it all hopefully lasting longer.
Nice. And these brass pieces that are inside here are to keep the cup from warping while you're welding it. Is that what that is?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's cool. And those are the new uprights. Those look a lot beefier. The bearings in a different rotation than they were before.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, bigger bearings all around, bigger spread, so the upright itself is 6 inches larger from the lower to upper control arm. And that allows us to make the actual chassis larger, point to point, so we can access the differential and the steering components a lot easier, so it's a lot better to service and work on.
Cool. And did you see this lower arm here yet? Yeah, this thing's massive. Looks like something out of the Terminator.
Yeah.
So that's where the two shocks go into it, right there.
The back's the pretty part.
The back's the pretty side.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and so
A lot of welding.
Yeah.
all the overlay plates on the bottom, they're gapped between the actual structural part of the arm. So when you're rock crawling, it'll hit the overlay plate and it'll deform the overlay plate and take up a lot of that energy that you get from the
And not the actual structure of the arm.
So
Gotcha.
it saves bearings, saves joints, prevents
cool.
weld cracking. At least that's the idea.
That's cool. All right, so how much longer till this starts to actually turn back into a car?
We got all the fixtures and stuff in end of this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's on the other table over there?
that's the lower bulkhead.
That's
so
the
I
lower.
have 3 sub-assemblies. The upper bulkhead is this guy.
Now this was more together, or was that piece on here?
The shock tower was on here
tower
just to get fitment, make sure everything came back and everything was bent correctly, and
Gotcha.
it was just
Yeah, you can see a
quality assurance.
massive amount of work in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of internal
Parts
welding,
and places everywhere.
so
And some of this is the fixture. What you see down here is the fixture, right? This is the actual part right here.
right.
So,
There's a lot of this is tried and true.
from our experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Increasing plate thicknesses where we notice the significant amount of cracking and fatigue.
Which side's the front? Is this the
This is
front
the
we're
front.
looking at? Yeah. So, and a lot of this was done to make getting to the differential a little easier to service?
That was one of the largest factors. Was before we had to take out the rack and pinion. We had to disconnect engine coolant lines, engine oil lines. We would make a mess every single time we wanted to take the diff out.
Yeah.
The whole front of the car would come apart. So now the diff can come out only taking axles and that's it. You can leave all the steering components in.
That's great. That'll be helpful. And if we didn't mention it before, this is Sam Dobry. He's the engineer on this project. So yeah, that's why he knows all about this. He's the one. So good stuff. Yeah, so this also led us to different wheels, different brakes. Like there was a lot of other things that got upgraded, even additional shocks, right?
Yeah, so going from the single internal bypass to a completely kind of, I guess, traditional bypass shock and coilover.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Get a little bit more control.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. This will be pretty cool. I know Fox is working with us on the shock, so we've got a lot of new stuff. Once this goes back together, then we got to get out and test, and make sure everything works as we hoped, and then we'll be getting it ready for race day. So it'll be here before we know it. I know that's for sure. That's how it always works. So we can take a look in the other room right here. I know they were working on putting Jordan's engine back together. Thanks, guys. So this is a good example. We've got a guy on the team that comes in and he inspects all the parts, and then he's responsible for reassembling the engine. So we've got a new camshaft, the heads are around here somewhere, and then he'll start to build this whole thing. Here's the connecting rods, the pistons, right? All this goes back into this block. This is an RHS tall block. And this is about a little over 800 horsepower engine. So we've got this is a scat crank inside here, cam motion cam, Carrillo rods, CP pistons. So a lot of the high-end names that you might know, and it's all the best stuff. So we don't take any chances when it comes to this stuff. We want to make sure it's reliable for race day. So, yep. That just gives you an idea of what we got going on in here. And that's a quick tour around the shop for what we've got going on right now.
Wait, am I going to be talking?
All right, we're over here in engineering where Arnold is working on the JL frame. This is where we do all of the design for our cages, for our suspensions. Everything happens right here. And we're going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at what this looks like. It's really turning out fantastic. And this cage, you know, not only is it a legit cage for the JL, but it's going to be able to take all the factory plastic. It's going to give you the protection you're looking for. Made out of 2-inch. I mean, this is nice stuff. And anyways, we just wanted to give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at what they're doing over here, and it's pretty high-tech stuff. All right, the next thing I wanted to update you guys on was some of the new cool things we've done with the JL fenders. We're actually, in addition to the bends that you see here, we're actually rolling these tubes as well. And what this does is it gets it to fit better inside the opening on the body. So this is a fender that's I just took out of production, and that's getting welded together. And this is how they're built, you know, with a plate and a tube. And here's one mounted on a Jeep, and you can see how it fits really nice inside the contour. A lot of the time you don't realize there's a contour built into the body, but that's how it looks right there, and it really fits nice. Now these are the equivalent of the stock flare in terms of width. This one's got extra wide, you know, wheels and everything on here. And then in the front, We make it the same width, but it tapers with the hood. So this is kind of a high performance fender. And we still include this little grill back here to help let some heat out. But again, the fender fits in here beautifully, tucks in nice, and all of these are aluminum. So even though these are painted, they're still aluminum. It's the only way we make them in aluminum. But this has got, you know, all of our stuff on it. It's got our kick plates, our rocker guards, and I just wanted to give you guys an update. We haven't really talked about the detail of these products before. We've just said, hey, we got them, but this is a great opportunity for us to give you a quick view of what that looks like too. All right, that's all we have for today. On the next live, I'm going to be coming to you live from Sturgis, South Dakota, where I'll be at Dakota Customs with Dan McKeague, and we're gonna check out all the cool builds he's got going on over there. He is the king of the Hemi conversion in JKs, JLs, and JTs, and I know he's got a bunch of cool stuff that I can't wait to show you. So we'll see you then.